We're there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. I should say welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington as I get the correct banner up for you guys. If you want to join in, use the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. We got the Royals on the brick and mortar. We will one more time tomorrow. Thursday, we'll be back live on the FM airwaves. So again, use the streams. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, Channel 961. We got the host, Chancellor Brewington, to my left. How's it going on this Tuesday night?
It is going fantastic. I just got done playing some basketball, man. I haven't played basketball in forever, and it's been a love of mine since I was young. And man, I was having fun. I was happy, man.
What position do you play? Not in this pickup, but back in the day.
Oh, in pickup, I'm shooting 30 times a game.
I was gonna say pickup. It's kind of just like you play 1 through 5 when you're in pickup basketball.
Yeah, I'm the ball in pickup. Wherever the ball is, I'm there. But
usage
anyway,
rate gets the Russell Westbrook levels.
Yeah, I'm
Russ.
Yeah,
up and down.
I'm Kobe for real.
Can you yam pretty good?
Oh, what?
I'm assuming, right?
What? Come on, Harrison. Don't test my gangster, man.
I mean, no. Some people aren't blessed. Some people walk around and they keep it secret that their vertical only got to 21.
Oh no, never that. Nah, yeah. I was really like a 4. I was really like a 4. Around there. I was like a 4. I played 4 on offense, and then defense, I would just guard the best player. It's pretty much how it went. But that was just whatever. I'm a little winded. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little winded, but
Brewington, or it's not Brewington. Basketball is a unique type of conditioning.
Oh yeah.
There's something about like you can be in the best shape of your life. You can be running marathons. Basketball's weird kind of in shape.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's interesting. But I'm good. I hope everyone out there is having a blessed day. I hope everyone out there learned something today. I hope everyone out there got to it in their own way, shape, and form. I'll start off quarter century wisdom, a true quarter century wisdom, the first or the second day, a true quarter century wisdom since I turned 25 yesterday. Happy belated to myself. So I got asked a question this weekend, and I got it asked earlier this year, but it hit different. The question was, what are you investing in? What are you investing in? And I got to ask probably around March, April. And I didn't really I had an answer kind of, but like I wasn't very sure on what he meant. And it was an older fellow and experienced man, seasoned, real wise, been through a lot of life. He might be watching.
Shout out.
But when he asked it, and he asked kind of a group, and I don't know what our answers was internally, I was like, wow, that's a good question. I think it's a question I think everyone should be super aware of. And now that I fast forward to August, it's been like 3-4 months. I understand and I realize that like I'm investing in myself right now. Like I'm investing time and learning. I'm investing time and learning myself and learning this world, learning things that maybe I was ignorant to in the past. And like I said yesterday, I said I'm learning a lot, and as I'm learning a lot, I'm learning that I know very little. I'm learning that there's so many areas like Man, I was focused on football for like, 10, 12 years of my life, which is understandable for most.
Most D1 athletes are.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's really hard to learn about money, and it's really hard to learn about business, and it's really hard to learn about time management, and it's really hard to learn about like emotional intelligence. It's really hard to learn about how to invest, like time, money, and etc. It's really hard to learn how to grow a business. Like it's hard to learn these things while you're playing football. And I kind of learned like the concept of energy transfer, and it's not like a weird thing. It's literally just like the energy I put into football, I learned how to transfer that energy and transfer it into like investing in myself. And while I played football, it was super easy for me to outwork everyone. Like it was pretty easy. Like, oh, I'm just gonna get another lift in when they go home. I'm gonna get like more stretching or hip hop. Like I'm just gonna do something. I'm gonna stay after practice, run gas. Like it was really easy for me to do that. And now I learned like I just have to find out that same drive, that same energy, and transfer it over to myself. And I had a conversation with my main man, one of my best friends. He he saw a thing on TikTok, and it was like, imagine if every person, or imagine if every hmm, so let's say you live for 100 years, right?
Mhm.
Every year that person, like of yourself, right, shows up in one space. That makes sense. So like
No, no. What do you mean
like
shows up in one
one,
space?
two, like year one, year two, year three, year four, but it's all you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now I get what you're
I
saying.
get what you get what I'm saying. And so imagine if they all are in the room and like I'm 25, right?
Mhm.
And they all like start clapping when you walk in the room. And everyone's like, man, this is the year. Like everything changes. Like if it wasn't for you this year, like we wouldn't, the 40-year-old self, it like comes to thank you. Like your 50-year-old self, like the 70-year-old grandpa comes to thank you and says, man, what you did this year
This
was
is the big one
everything.
for us.
Was
Yeah.
everything. Like it was I was telling my man, I'm like, bro, this will be a great movie. But um imagine that. Imagine if this is the year, and this is for everyone listen. Imagine if this is the year where whether you feel like you messed up in the past, whether you feel like you're kind of stuck, or whether you feel like you're about to break through. What if this was the year? Like you just declare it, you just decree it, you just say, this is the year, or this is the moment, or this is the month. Say you're about to break through. This is the month that is everything in my generations are going to be thankful for what I do right now. And obviously that would be like a 10x mindset.
Mhm.
If you haven't read the book, 10x is better than 2x, or 10x is easier than 2x, you need to go read it. If you have any type of business, want to learn how to like how to better yourself, if you want to learn how to make more money, like if you want to learn how to just become the better version of yourself, read that book. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. You won't want to put it down. But the examples in there is just it's constantly, you realize you realize that there's more. You realize that you go through 10x's all the time, and I'm sure you've gone through a 10x as well, where you just tell yourself, I'm and shout out fan on O Street just took a picture of me and Harrison. I gave him the thumbs up if y'all saw that.
All right, bet someone's paying attention.
Yeah, yeah. But the 10x is, so 10x is basically just like, I'm going all in on something.
Mhm.
I'm going all in. 10x, like you could go 10x in school and get to a 4.0 GPA. Like you can go 10x in your work and work your way up. I'm sure you probably went 10x when you first started doing this and got your way to now when you're managing all the producers and stuff here. Like everyone goes through 10x's, but while you're going through this 10x phase, it's always good to, they call it staying in the gap, not staying in the gap. Staying in the gap is always comparing yourself to who you're going to become.
Yeah.
So now you stay in that gap of, I'm only here, but I'm really going to, I really see myself here. And you now you just put negative dialogue, and it's hard to, that's how you stay in the hole, and that's how you stay in the gap. But always being grateful.
Gotta love the process.
Yeah.
You gotta love it, every part of it.
Yeah. Always being grateful. But yeah, I just imagine that this is the year. This is the year that everything changes. And you come to know yourself. I said that yesterday. You come to know yourself, and you become confident. And once you become confident and sure yourself, like other people just see you differently, because it starts with yourself. It starts from the inward, and then it transfers to the outward.
Yeah, and sometimes confidence can almost have like a negative stigma to it.
Yeah,
That's such a weird thing. I don't know why that ever came to be.
yeah, I don't really understand it, and I that frustrates me for real because I see a lot of unconfident people, and that's no knock on them. But I don't think we've been taught how to be confident and how to walk as walk as a confident being, but a lot of people label that as cocky.
Yeah, and you really shouldn't, because it's bizarre. Because you can see those people who aren't confident, and for whatever reason, I'm not going to say I've been walking around confident my entire life. There's still times where I walk in maybe too sheepish, but yeah, I mean, it's not a fun way to live, being timid and anxiety ridden, and
Yeah.
just being unsure of just even like the smallest things.
Is not the way to live.
No.
It's not the way to live, and you haven't been called to live that way either. So
Easier said than done, though. We always got to put that caveat.
it is either easier said than done, but once you get it, it's over. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
just
like
gotta
any
get
habit.
it. You just gotta get it.
Uh-huh.
You just gotta get it. It's this like this the programming within yourself. Like once you reprogram it, it's over with. It's like if you put like Microsoft into what's the Excel? Is that what's the opposite of Microsoft? Like the Apple version? What is that?
Yeah, so you can go like Microsoft or Apple.
Yeah, or Apple. Like you can't transfer that over to Apple,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
It'll be like error or something like that, right?
Mhm.
That's like the same thing with like what you think about yourself inwardly. If you try to like say like if you inwardly your inward belief is like you don't really believe in yourself and you want other people to believe in you, like there's always going to be an error, right? Because it always starts inward first. So it's like it's the example from like Microsoft to Apple and stuff like that. But if you believe in yourself and then you want someone else to believe in you, it just happens naturally. But it starts with yourself. And yeah, man, there's so many good books out there that teach you how to, believe in yourself and learn. Yeah,
Books are great.
books are fantastic.
Best way to alter your perspective, or at least give you another viewpoint. Without it, it doesn't even have to change your mind. But it is good to see things from all sides to better understand it. Even if you still end up on the page that your initial instinct was the right one, at least at the very end, understand the other side of it and how you can get to that negative point or even understand the negative side of things.
Nah, for real. I need to get in a book club, man.
Shout out book clubs. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there.
What
Like,
is that?
seriously.
What is the concept do you know the concept of book clubs?
You read a book and talk about it
Okay.
and all its fine points.
Oh.
You got to have it done. You can't be that schmuck that shows up to the book club for the free sandwiches and, you maybe got to chapter 2.
All right.
You got to, now you might need to be on an accelerated book club because there's going to be people in there like, hey, I didn't finish the book in 2 days. So shut up about the last few chapters while I try to work through it.
Hey, I'm sorry.
So is there any accelerated book clubs? I think that's the key word there that you're going to need. Because you're chewing through those things.
Chewing through them like it's like they're Skittles, But I saw this thing and it was some famous guy. I'm sure he was on Instagram talking about if you read a book a week for 3 years, that's a hefty time. For 3 years, you become known in your community, right? This is his opinion,
Okay,
right? So we could talk about it if we think it's true. You'll become known in your community. If you read a book a week for 5 years, you'll become known in your country, right? If you read a book a book a week for 10 years, you'll become known around the globe.
I was going to say a book a year for 10 years. We've all done it in high school. That's not up. So a book a week.
A book a week. My bad.
A book a day or a book a week?
A book a week.
Okay, I was going to say.
So 3 years, 100 around 156 books.
Yeah.
5 years, that's 225 around, right? And then 10, that's 500 and some change.
You got some knowledge.
Do you think that's true?
Is
that a stretch?
I think it has the possibility to.
Little stretch.
I think it's like a stretch, but not at the same time. It's like if you are reading that much, you will drastically change in behavior for the better, I'd imagine. Now, if you're reading a bunch of nonsense, like there's books you can read that probably aren't going to do much for you. Like if it's just much comic books, if you count that, if you're reading that. But I think if you're reading the right things, yeah, it can and give you a sense of perspective that you would never have without doing that. That is unobtainable by people who refuse to read at all. And I think that's how you become well known. You can also be well known by being the guy that says, I read X amount of books. I'd imagine that's not what he's talking about. I think it's
Right.
more on the wisdom
knowledge,
and knowledge
yeah.
you get from it, as opposed to the guy who just read a bunch of books in our town.
Yeah. Yeah. I realize now that there's like, I was reading the book and it was talking about it's the book that you don't read that could change your life, that could teach you something that could change your outcome, your situations.
Well, they're powerful. They sit with you longer because you have to chew through the context and kind of sift out the meaning, as opposed to watching a movie where it's just kind of fed to you, spoon fed to you, which is, it's fine. TV, they got 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, depending on what you're watching. It's a tight story that's on a consistent timeline to keep you engaged. But yeah, books, like, you got to sift through that stuff. And like sometimes like the point doesn't come till like 3 chapters later. You have to think about it. It's such a deeper meaning. I think that's why it has way more positive effect.
Yeah. And then there's books like The Alchemist, like that has like these esoteric, like secretive, deep meanings that like every time you read it, it's like you get like a whole new perspective, like whole new revelation from it.
Well, there's a reason why those George Orwell books are so popular. And like even today, you think there's a big resurgence of those books. Like people are stressed out more than ever, and you read some of these books, and it's like, yeah, that sounds familiar. And it's like you figure out all this stuff people have written about before. And I think we run into that trap a lot where we think of the people of the past as not as smart.
That is true.
And that is not true at all.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be careful with this, right? Because I do sports radio for a living. So maybe I'm wrong. If you want to prove it, you can give me graphs. But I always just think we underestimate people in the past. Like go back to the past, pick a year, and you get to bring whatever item. People will say, "Oh, I'd love to show them the iPhone." They're going to ask you how that iPhone works. Are you going to be able to explain it? Probably not. So you're really that much smarter, or do you just have the better tools? I think we have the better tools. So you don't want to take those older books and like, it's too old timey. It's not going to have real value. I think they have just as much value back then. Wording's different. Sifting out the meaning's different. But they still ring true today. A lot of them.
Yeah. I think as you're talking, I'm thinking of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I mean, that book is, 1930s, I believe, 1920s.
And it's crazy how when you read some of those things, how it still is like consistent with today.
Yeah. And like one of the chapters is all on like radio's about to emerge on the scene. And like, I'm like reading it. I'm like, my gosh, like that's like real throwback, but it's so consistent. There's 13 principles in that book, and people still suggest that book like to this day. Like that's like one of the main books that people go through for wealth. Like the principles in that book are timeless. Like Henry Ford, the things that he's done with Ford Motors and like just the way he structured his business, the way he thought, the way he visioned, the way I always tell this story on here, but Henry Ford was giving someone a tour of Ford Motors, and there was a man with his feet kicked up on the desk. It looked like he was sleeping, right? And the person who was getting the tour, he's like, "Man, Henry, you pay someone to sleep on the job? Like, why is this man getting paid?" And Henry Ford turns to him and says, like, "That's our dreamer. He visualizes engines, and the one he just made, some cylinder engine, made us, X amount of $1 million, right? But the way he thought was just very, very different. So yeah, I think wisdom and knowledge and visions and dreams and how those manifestations and how those things come to pass, I think those are ageless. I don't think they're
books are just vital,
timeless. Yeah,
you hear about that. Even like you go across the globe, it's like a lot of the things they do if they want to control the way people think, and that's why it's good to read, give you all those perspectives, is like literature. And like that's, again, if you want to go George Orwell, like 1984, or no, was it Fahrenheit? Did you ever read Fahrenheit?
I'm new to this, Harrison. I gotta catch up.
I'll throw another one. Anyone, I can't remember. Shout out text line 402-464-5685. You can help me out. It's like Fahrenheit 387. I can't remember, but the idea of it, that's like the temperature that things burn, and they burn all the books. Trying to control media, because they don't want people to have revelations. They want to keep them under the thumb,
right?
And like that's why
that kind of like book thief, like that kind of era.
Book Thief.
The Book Thief.
I don't remember the Book Thief. Is that a widely taught one in Arizona?
Yeah, that was like our curriculum. Like we had to read book 3. We had to read what's the one with the what's the dude with the text line? You gotta help me out. It's the two guys. One guy, one guy's like a really big guy, and I think he might be like a little.
Oh man,
you know what I'm talking about?
I can't.
It's
a brutally sad story.
I'm trying to. Why am I thinking of Mumford and Sons? It's like
Mike,
like
Big Mike. No,
it's like Ozzy or something. It's bro. Someone got to help me out. It's like I don't even know what to look up. School curriculum books. Whoever gets it first gets a. I don't know. Do we have some Salt Dog tickets or something?
Yeah. Hey, whoever gets this first, we'll give you some Salt Dogs. Freak the Mighty.
No. Freak the Mighty? That was it?
I want to say it was. Yeah. Friends Maxwell and
there has to be an
he's got his friend.
Great Gatsby, no. To Kill a Mockingbird, no. Oh my gosh. To Kill a Mockingbird, that was a good one. A Mice and Men.
Oh, okay. A Mice and Men.
Was that right?
That's I've never read A Mice and Men, but I think the one we're talking about is we might have to throw it to break to figure it out, but I'm pretty sure it's Freak the Mighty.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
We'll have to find out during the break.
Okay,
you guys can pitch in as well because we are getting toward time here. So don't go anywhere. We'll switch it up. We'll talk some sports. We'll start leaning in as we are right around the corner from week 0 college football, sir. NFL. NFL is less than or just 16 days for NFL football now, maybe even a little less than that. But either way, around the corner, football. We don't have to wait too much longer. And if you've been playing college football 25 simulating, you won't have to simulate too much longer. The real stuff's coming soon. So don't go anywhere. 2 more segments. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Talk to you in a little bit.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming. but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Switch it over to some college football, maybe some NFL as well if we got time for it later in the show. You guys can join in. We got Royals on the airwaves, but you can still use the Sartor Heyman text line as well as the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream. That's 402-464-5685. And again, the streams, that's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo Channel 961. We got the host, Chancellor. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so Nebraska football. Coach Rule is obviously, creating what some people say Pat McAfee.
Sorry, again, what?
Pat
McAfee?
McAfee.
Okay.
Pat McAfee came out and said that Nebraska could be the new powerhouse in the Big Ten.
He's big on Nebraska. He's fully in on Nebraska.
His words, not mine. But Coach Rule has started this new tradition where the top 10 players, key players.
We shouldn't say new, carried over from his former colleges.
Yeah. Well, new to Nebraska.
New to Nebraska.
New to Nebraska. Yeah. Top 10 players, top 10 most influential, hardest workers, mentally strong. They get the single digit numbers starting from 0 to 9.
Yeah.
So 10,
and he labels it toughest. I think it's like the key word that he likes to use. So all in the same thing. You were saying hardest working, toughest guy.
Exactly. So we got 0 remains the same. Nash, Hutchmaker. 1, Jamari Butler. I like this one. 2, Isaac Gifford stays the same. 3, Marquise Buford, which we're going to talk about him a little bit more. 4, Jamal Banks. I thought this was interesting, and I'll tell you why in a second. 5, John Bullock. I'm pretty sure that stays the same.
Yep.
6, Tommy Hill. I love it. He was a single digit last year, so not too much of a change there. 7, Malcolm Hartzog. Call him MC. Shout out MC. He's been consistent since he's been there. Just a really hard worker. 8, Deshaun Singleton. Glad to see him back on the field. Had a knee problem against La Tech, I believe. I think it was La Tech.
I don't want to say for sure, but yeah. I think you're right.
La Tech. And 9, the big dog T-Rob. And in this picture, I'm looking at it.
The big dog is not an understatement.
T-Rob looks huge. I'm like, bro.
He looked big last year.
Big. And Nash looks huge, of course, but Nash is like 325, 320-ish.
And he just got done with wrestling is a crazy part.
Yeah, and he's already back. Yeah, he's already back. And so, that's a whole nother story. But T, you look good, brother. You look good. Look like you've been working out. Yeah, everyone looks good. Jamari looks real big, looks strong. Jamal Banks is a lot bigger than I thought. Deshaun looks like everyone looks like football players, bro. Like everyone looks good. So starting with Nash, right? No surprise there. We know he's going to be influential. We know he's going to have a big year. It's going to be him and Ty. And just going to Ty real quick. Those two up front are going to be our as they go, we go type of guys. Like I like to say, it's going to be interesting to see how they play off of each other. Just the different fronts that they get into, how they utilize them. And yeah, with this 3-5, it's just a bunch of mismatches when they go 4 down, 5 down, all that good stuff. Jamari, a lot. We had Justin Adams on here last week, and we were talking about D-line room and the sleepers on the D-line.
Yeah, he was big on Jamari Butler.
Really big on him.
Leading sack leader last year.
Led the team in sacks.
6.
6. Can play that jack position, but since he put on that weight, he's always been able to play DN. That's what he plays, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to line up in a 6, to be able to line up in a 9, to be able to line up sometimes in a 4-eye and have to do some dirty work in this 3-3-5. I think it's going to be exciting to see him be able to progress as a player. 2, Isaac Gifford. I think that's the heart and soul of this defense. Heart and soul of the defense. And I think if you're the heart and soul of the defense, you're the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah, he's certainly been a vocal leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been on the spotlight more than once for the right reasons.
Exactly. I think he's the heartbeat, meaning or the nucleus of the defense, playing this rover position. It does so many different things. If you've watched it, he's sometimes the middle dropper in Tampa 2. Sometimes he's the post safety. Sometimes, he's in the box. When they go 5 down, he's playing Mike. Like there's so many different things.
He's so good at it. I'll never forget. It was Ohio State, and I can't remember the defense we called was it was a good play call from Ohio State because they kind of caught our defense off guard, and Isaac Gifford had to keep up with. Can't remember which wide receiver, and he was just on a go route running deep. And Isaac Gifford kept up with him the entire way and looked like just a pure corner out there. Like his versatility can't be understated. And he gets talked about a lot by like commentators every time because they're amazed at his ability to cover ground.
Yeah.
So I certainly one of the leaders.
Yeah, for sure. I think I know he's going to play a key role, a pivotal role, and it's going to be awesome to see just the progression of him at this new position. Obviously, before they went to 3-5, he played that nickel position, kind of that position that JoJo Doman played. I think this fits him a lot more. It allows him to be this kind of free runner in the defense, the free hitter. He can run sideline to sideline. He can run the alley on these outside zones and wide zones that these Big Ten teams love to run. 3 is interesting. Marquise Buford. And it's going to be how they use him this year is going to be very interesting. Obviously, having the corner background, I wouldn't be surprised if it's him and Tommy Hill.
I think that's what it's going to be.
Him and Tommy Hill at corner. And then, honestly, with, maybe Bly Hill injuries, whatever, you got
Javen Wright's out too.
Exactly.
Definitely we don't fully know, but we did get from Matt Rule that he's going to be okay.
Right.
At the very least. So hopefully it's quicker recovery for him.
Right. So, but like the corner position, I think maybe Sair Wright, maybe, but just getting some depth there. You never know in a season, you never know. But Marquise it's going to be awesome to have him at the corner spot because he's such a physical guy. You get to the boundary or the short side of the field and they try to run there. Maybe putting Keeson to the boundary on some stuff, letting Tommy play to the field. That would be awesome. Kind of the same way when Cam Taylor-Britt was here and it was Quentin Newsome.
Okay, yeah.
Cam Taylor-Britt was usually always to the boundary. And the reason why, because sometimes teams like to pick on corners and they'll kind of, go and we call it an MDM block, most dangerous man. The receiver will go get the safety and leave the corner to get run on. But when you have a physical guy like a Cam and really like a Marquise Buford, guys that like to tackle, that like to hit, and are sure tacklers at corner, it's a lot harder to just leave them and go get the safety.
Yeah, because now it feels like you're putting those guys on an island, not the other way around.
Exactly. So being able to do some stuff too, blitzing him off the edge, doing some cool stuff. So yeah, that's cool. And the one I really want to get to is number 4, Jamal Banks, transfer over from Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And he was consistent there, efficient. So it's gonna be, and we talked to Indiana's running back, Ellison, I believe.
Okay.
From Virginia. He played at Wake Forest with Jamal Banks and said he's an awesome guy, hard worker, first one in, last one out. And so when I see this right here, it tells me a couple things, right? There's a new guy coming in, right? He was here for a spring. Kind of like, he reminds me, the timing is kind of like Samari Toure, like, here for a spring, kind of like Trey Palmer, come here in December, January, gets acclimated to the team. And now he's kind of what looks like, Obviously, you're not going to have O-lineman get a single-digit number. Probably not really a tight end. I doubt Fedoni and all that.
They can get single-digit numbers, but it's honorary. So an offensive lineman definitely could have been one of those guys to receive it.
Got you. So that even makes it a bigger deal then, right? So obviously he's the leader in the receiver room, right? And if you're the leader in the receiver room, that also goes with play as well. It's not just hard work. I'm sorry. You can work as hard as you want. Let's just be real. You can work as hard as you want. If you're not making plays, that you're not going to be on this list.
Yeah, I could work harder than Jamal Banks, but guess what? I'm never going to cut out to be a
right. If you miss every catch, though, you ain't going to be on this list, right?
Matter. No matter how hard I work.
Yeah, so it makes me think that this guy during camp or during spring or during summer is kind of emerging as the guy.
Clearly, I think so. This is what excites me about Banks, and shout out Barry Thompson for calling this out, because it's DMV area kid. So
exactly.
DP and those guys, and you look at the class he came from. Like they had 6 Under Armour All-Americans in his graduating class at his high school. Then obviously you look at his track record at Wake Forest. Nowhere in his track record does he have a slump. Like everywhere he goes, he continues to dominate. And then you look at this. What this tells me is that nothing's changed. Like he came to Nebraska and he's legit, and like nothing has phased it so far. So I'm not actually terribly surprised, mainly for the fact that I had the opportunity to kind of hear DP and Barry Thompson and had a better understanding of his background. Yeah, nothing's changed for the kid. Like he's just kind of continues to dominate wherever he ends up.
Yeah. So as I'm looking at this, looks like a very physical guy.
Big
guy.
Wide receiver, strong, lengthy, I think.
Yeah, and this is kind of a switch up from what we had last year. You know, we had Coleman, of course, but Coleman it's just different, right? You use a young pup that you ask him to play such a big role.
Man, Alex Bullock out there who was kind of put out there in a position where he had to step up.
He was the veteran. He was the OG in the group. When you had Marcus Washington go down with the ACL against Illinois. But yeah, I talked about probably like right before camp, I said there's going to be someone that emerges in the receiver room. And so this tells me that him wearing number 4, him being the only offensive player, you see him only red jersey, this is the guy. This is the third down guy. Obviously, I'm not saying like it's going to be like Trey Palmer, like 2 years ago, right? But I'm saying if there's a guy in the receiver room, it's him.
Yeah, he's that A1 receiver where more often than not, Dylan Rayola is probably going to look to him to make a tough play.
Exactly. So, but it's going to be awesome. That room is going to be finding its identity as they go.
Yeah, well, we didn't even point this out. You got the entire defensive front 7 on there, and the back end as well. You're only missing 2 guys. That's pretty much the entire starting defense or single digits. That tells you where this team's mindset is that they are going to physically dominate these games, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And if we can just score 21 points, we're probably bowling plus a few more wins on top of that.
I don't think people, or maybe people do understand how talented this defense is. If we look at this right here, we still leave off 2 freshman All-Americans that are probably going to be the key players on this. Like I would say Cam and P. Will probably going to be the key D linemen at that jack position. Yeah. Like they're going to be key players.
Fair argument. Yeah.
Key players. Obviously don't really know what's going on in Javen Wright. I would, if we see him on the field, like, what do we, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't talk about Mekhi Gabriel. Like,
we didn't even talk about like Vincent Shavers, who I get he's a young guy, but the amount of praise that he's getting as someone on defense, despite, especially with the absence of Javen, maybe we see a good bit of Vincent Shavers where like there's some praise on him. It just feels like, man, you got all these guys that they're the leaders of this team. And then you feel good about the depth behind them as well. This defense, shout out Justin Adams for pointing it out the other night. I mean, I can't imagine what the scouting report's got to look like when you get to the defense for the Nebraska Cornhuskers this upcoming season.
The sheet going to be 2 pages long.
Well, and just the way Tony White likes to complicate things for you. Like that's a lot to read pre-snap. Like, is there a team out there in the Big Ten for a quarterback that's tougher to pick up on what they're trying to do pre-snap than Nebraska? I just think the way this defense is helmet, obviously Michigan, Ohio State, they're great defenses. I'm not saying we're going to be better than those guys. There's a chance for it, but they're not complicating things to giving you a bunch of eye candy to take your eyes in the wrong spot. Kind of the same way Tony White can, even if it's not a lot of, motion and trying to move guys around, It's just the amount of ways you can dial pressure up when you're in that 3-3-5.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Big Ten, and obviously I played everyone on here. I think the only one I haven't played is Penn State. But when I look at Purdue, big quarters team, like, straight too high quarters, play a little man, pretty simple. Illinois, they're gonna do that little 5 down, play man behind it.
Especially with Brett Bielema down there as well.
Yeah, too high. Obviously, they had the Juice squad in 2022 where they had Silver or just Devin Witherspoon and Martin and Sidney Brown and all these big name guys. Like, I think they had like 5 or 6 guys from that defense get drafted. They're gonna play man behind it, but pretty simple. Minnesota quarters team. Wisconsin, they don't do too much. Northwestern, pretty simple. Iowa, as simple as it gets.
Yep, just they execute
literally quarters and play a little bit of bare. They don't even play man. They play a really light like 2 that looks like quarters sometimes. Indiana, pretty simple. I'm not really sure what Michigan State plays. I ain't played them since like 2021. Rutgers, pretty simple. Maryland. But what I'm trying to get at is it's such a dramatic change when you go to play Nebraska. Like,
a huge advantage.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And shout out to Tony White and what he's doing there. And shout out to all the guys.
And Terrence Knighton, man, what he's doing with that D line, he's got it. He's got those guys working well
and building confidence.
Yeah,
building confidence. You hear James Williams, he was talking about the drill work, that he's able to do the drill work fluid now, and that he doesn't think during the drill work, and it translates to the game. Like when you hear a player talk about we drilled it, that means the coaching's good. If you hear a player talking about, we drilled this in practice and I got it down, coach helped me, perfect this, that means the coaching good, because that means they drilled it. This was something that they're going to see. They drilled it. They perfected it at practice. They got game reps at it at practice. And then they went in the game and got good reps in the game on it. So that just goes back to coaching. So shout out to the coaching. And also, of course, shout out to the players, because they're the ones that have to execute their numbers called.
We got to throw the break, but it's going to be so much fun. I mean, it just says a lot. Like, out of all the new toys that this Nebraska offense got, I am more excited to watch this defense, in my opinion, continue to dominate. Now, I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid and give them all their awards.
Drink it.
But certainly feels like they got the opportunity to dominate even more so than they did last year. So certainly something to be optimistic about. But we'll throw it to our final break here. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Wrapping things up. What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington? Got just a few minutes left here before we go ahead and get to our replay portion of the night. I got some one-on-one with DP up next for you guys. So with that being said, Chancellor Brewington, a few minutes left. Where do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, so Coach Rule came out and said that he wouldn't be surprised if, 5 years, 6 years down the line, that Dylan Raiola and Danny Kaelin both going to be in the NFL. They're NFL caliber players. So are we surprised by that? Is anyone surprised by that? Are you surprised by that?
A little bit. I just wish that's one thing I wish he would stop saying. He said that about Jeff Sims too.
Oh, he did?
Uh-huh. He said that about NFL caliber guys on the roster. He says that a lot. To the point where I'm like, I want to see it before you keep telling me that. Now maybe he's got some real fruit to bear as to why he keeps saying that. There's, and obviously Kalen can't be. I have no idea. I haven't seen it on a day-to-day basis. But the fact that he said that before, and I had to watch quarterback that just really struggled on like basic things, like I can't take that for what it is. That's some of the things of the rule where like I can't take his word on that because you've said it before and it hasn't panned out.
I can understand that. I think if anything, it tells me that he's having a good camp. It tells me he's going to have a good camp. I'm not saying he's, going to be a draft pick one day. I hope he is. I hope both of them go.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope both of them are draft picks, whether, one of them transfers out or, they both end up staying at Nebraska.
And he probably is having a good camp.
Yeah, I hope that's true because especially like freshmen, you just never know, bro. Like a helmet could come off.
Mm-hmm.
If Dylan's the starter, the helmet could come off. And, you got to throw whoever the two is. Let's say Danny, is the two that week. And you throw Daniel Kaelin in, for a snap. And then all of a sudden, he throws a 50-yard bomb or something. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of things matter. The depth matters.
Happens all the time. I mean, look at Alabama. Look at all the great QBs that got benched.
Tua.
Uh-huh.
Think about Tua.
Yeah. It's like it happens a lot where, especially here in Nebraska, like hold your breath if you're the second string. Unfortunately, history's told you, get ready.
String.
Yeah.
Fourth string.
If you don't even play quarterback and you play tight end.
All right.
That was a little too deep cut.
But that's it's encouraging though, and nobody's even talking about Harburg at this time.
I am. I'll shout out Harburg. I think that's great to have a guy like that who got a year under his belt. Mechanics looked better, I thought, in the spring game. Again, just spring game, but it looked clean.
At 3rd and short, 4th and 1 situation, I pulled the Tim Tebow. Remember, if you ever watch Tim Tebow's first year at Florida, they would always do like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. They would sub in Tebow, and he would go run QB power or QB trap, or
which is crazy That's such a success rate.
QB ISO, yeah.
Because there's no like hiding it. There's no tricks up your sleeve. Tim Tebow's in the game.
He would just literally get the first every single time, or third and goal. They're within the 2-yard line.
And somehow managed never to get injured. I swear, if we put one of our quarterbacks through that in Nebraska, I guarantee you they break something.
Tim Tebow is I don't think he was made I don't think he's from Earth. I think he's from somewhere else. He has
funny.
something different. He's from Krypton.
He might be.
From
I like
Krypton.
Tim Tebow. Ever since he asked Fine Bob on live TV where he gets his haircut at, I couldn't help. He won me over.
Hey,
it was one of the funniest bits.
If Harburg carves out a role doing that type of stuff, and maybe lining up at tight end sometimes, maybe line up in the backfield, getting some handoffs, doing some cool option stuff with them, doing like a 2 quarterback set where they throw it out to Harburg first, screen pass, fake the screen pass, throw a double pass off of screen. Like you could do a bunch of stuff with Harburg, and I think we're going to see that. And wouldn't it just be awesome to have, Raiola in there, Fedoni in there, Harburg in there, Jamal Banks in there, Jalen Lloyd in there at the same time? And it's like, okay, game plan for this. It's
going to be fun. Satterfield certainly is going to have a lot more weapons to play with than he did last year. Not that everybody in last year's team wasn't good, but we've talked about the injuries enough. It's pretty clear. I mean, you have that much of a team going down from offensive linemen to wide receivers, the quarterbacks. Yeah, things just kind of fall apart quickly for you. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up tonight's show, though. This has been What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington. Got the host to my left. And before I wrap things off, again, we'll have a replay for you guys one-on-one with DP. That'll carry you through the next hour. He's with Coach Barry Thompson, Fairfax Academy Football. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling.